This is actually the first post-game reaction that I've done mere minutes after the game. This whole postseason, not for real. Normally, I give it like an hour or something, or I record it the next morning. I just wait and I calm down. But not tonight, for a couple of reasons. First off, this being one of the best games I've ever watched. This is up there with championship games, with the Sixers and Raptors a couple of years ago. Hell, I might even say it was up there with Game 7, 2016, maybe. Maybe that's an overreaction, I don't know. We're not diving into that right now. It's one of the best, and I want to get on here while I still have everything in my head. And you can tell it's that way because neither of these are my team. I don't have anything vested in these playoffs. I'm a neutral spectator, and that game stressed me the fuck out. That's when you know it's in a different tier. When it stresses you out and you have no stakes in it. Sixers and Raptors did not stress me out back in 2019. It was amazing. I was standing in front of my TV, but that one did not stress me out the way this one stressed me out. I think it's because my brother was getting into the NBA for the very first time this season, and he took a particular interest in the Nets, and he'd been telling me, if Brooklyn loses, don't talk to me about basketball, don't send me nothing about basketball, I'm done until next playoffs. And I low-key wanted it to continue. I wanted his interest to continue. With Brooklyn gone, it's probably not going to happen, especially this year with a couple of other stars injured. I don't know, that's pretty difficult. It all started with NBA Top Shot, by the way. Probably have to tell that story one day. Either way, I'm just going to let you know right now, if you're a Bucks supporter, you're a Giannis supporter, I'm about to hate. Just for probably about, I can't put a timer on it, maybe 2 or 3 minutes here at the beginning. I'm about to go full hater, okay? I mean no harm, it's not malicious. Because I told y'all in the last Nets video, I actually am rooting for Giannis' success. So this is actually more about the Bucks as a whole and less about Giannis. Because I do want to see him do good, and he did incredible tonight. What was that, 40 in a game 7? Toe-to-toe with KD? Alright, so I'm about to hate, but not on Giannis. Some way through this series, I actually began to want the Brooklyn Nets to win. And that's crazy, because when it started, I tweeted out, I want the Bucks to go ahead and take care of business. I really don't want a super team in the finals. I think it's a lot cooler when we don't know who's going to win. So if you were to let a healthy Kyrie, Harden, and KD out there, I felt like, yeah, Chris Paul going to the finals with the Suns would kind of end up being a moot point, because sure, he finally made it after this long career just to play this team that nobody can defend. So that's how I started. But as the series wore on, and as the Bucks lost a couple of games that they shouldn't have, as the Nets were in games that they shouldn't have been in, it's something, I don't know, I think it's, you know how they say the basketball gods see all and you're not supposed to disrespect the game? I felt like in this series, from a coaching standpoint, from what was going on the floor, Milwaukee was just disrespectfully failing their way forward time and time again. It was to the point where I was rooting for Kevin Wayne Durant this game. Did they say he put up the most points in a Game 7 history? I promise you I didn't know nobody had ever put up more than 48. That's crazy. Especially given what happened in Game 5. Yeah, that's crazy. He's going toe-to-toe with PJ Tucker this entire series. He hits one of the most incredible game-tying shots I have ever seen. And now I understand what he was doing. He was 100% going for the win, which is what I kind of thought they might do. I was saying they should go for the 2, but if the 3 is open, you take it. He went for a contested 3, so I said, okay, he's trying to make a movie. Once he did the little half turn and turned back around and shot it, I was like, damn, they just couldn't find a good shot. And then he made it, but his toes were on the line. You could see it in his face that, damn, I was trying to end this because I'm low-key gassed. He played what, 50 plus minutes? So he was definitely trying to put a dagger in it right there for the reason that you saw when it ended. He tried to, again, make a movie, because that would have been a little compilation right there, the same exact shot. That's something NBA Storyteller talked about, basketball as a show. You've seen LeBron throughout his career take that same left wing LaFuck you 3 in Golden State. He's done it multiple times, and then he does it against other teams. So Kevin Durant in 2017 and 2018 hit the same exact game-winning 3s against Cleveland. Here he was trying to hit the same dagger shots against the Bucks. Only when he tried it this time against Jrue Holiday, I have no doubt in my mind, and maybe it's hindsight, but I have no doubt in my mind that they should have called a timeout. Reason being, as they got the rebound, first of all, they looked a little bit hesitant. It's kind of like everyone looked around and thought there might be a timeout, but there wasn't, so he started dribbling up, and then he passed it off to James Harden. Harden immediately gave it back, and that's when I think there should have been a timeout, because it was clear that they didn't really know who was going to take the shot or what they were doing. You had one timeout. It was absolutely no reason not to use it there. There wasn't an open lane for somebody to drive. It wasn't something for somebody to exploit. They were running out of time. They were not in a good position. There should have been a timeout by Steve Nash there, and there wasn't, so that's all she wrote. And the Bucks, again, sans Giannis, they got away with some of the dumbest things I've seen in basketball, i.e. at the end of, was it regulation? Yeah, end of regulation, Brook Lopez, they inbound to Brook Lopez with 2 seconds off on the shot clock, and he looks at the goal for a split second, then looks away for a pass as if there were 10 seconds on the shot clock. It was as if in the huddle they hadn't talked about the time situation, and so they threw it away, and that's how we got the Kevin Durant shot in the first place. This Milwaukee team just struggled to beat a Nets team that lost Kyrie midway through the series, didn't have Harden for the first 4 games, got Harden back at probably, anywhere ranging from 40 to 60% of himself. It was kind of varying. He clearly was not himself from anywhere beyond the perimeter. He started driving a little bit and drawing fouls this game. He was getting progressively better. That's not James Harden. With Joe Stage Fright Harris, shooting, I'm not going to look up his percentage, but I know from what I saw, it was piss poor. That Nets team almost won and beat this Bucks team that we had all season been saying was supposed to be championship contenders, and they're one of the top dogs. And they, God honestly, lost this game like 3 times. So did the Nets. The Nets, it was weird. The momentum shifts around the 4th quarter. I swear both teams got into that zone where you felt like it was starting to pull away from the other squad. They both did that like 3 or 4 times. Either way, I think that's one of the reasons, besides just seeing some of the stupidest things on court that I've seen in quite a while, I'm also hating because it just feels like this is not the Bucks team I watched throughout the regular season, and there's no way that they should have gone 7 with this Nets squad. And okay, maybe you're saying, oh, you're not giving Kevin Durant enough credit. PJ Tucker was playing some of the toughest defense you can play, probably even getting away with some fouls. That last shot was very good defense by PJ Tucker. He just made it. So you're probably saying, well, what do you do when KD hits shots like that? You can't do anything. He's just one of those guys, as some of y'all are learning, that can will his team to victory nearly on his own. But let's see if I can put this in a way that's actually kind of relevant to the times. When the Lakers were clearly a wounded dog, the Suns went for the kill. Same thing with the Nuggets. They were down guys. The Suns went for the kill. That's what I look for in these teams when I say, okay, this is a team that's contending for a championship that we're supposed to take seriously. They go and they kill. Now, given the Lakers didn't have a Kevin Durant level player, even with the injuries that they had, so you might say that's not a 1-to-1 comparison, but that just kind of gives you an idea what I'm looking for. With Milwaukee, I think they had enough to do this and not very nearly lose in 7. Well, I'm just hating, bro. Whatever. I'm hating like a motherfucker right now. Let me give Giannis his props because he went through some shit this series. He fought through his limitations and the limitations of the scheme to, in his words, beat the best player on the planet. He called KD the best player on the planet, so in his book, he has now bested the best. I've got no hate for his performance here. He was everything that a superstar player or face of a franchise is supposed to be. He kept his foot on the gas. He adjusted his free throws. I'm gonna guess he adjusted his free throws mid-game, because if you notice, he started shooting them better as the crowd was counting. And a specific thing I noticed is he was shooting at the 12-second mark. So when the crowd said 12, he shot. It was low-key starting to feel like the crowd was giving him a routine, was giving him cues on when to do whatever he needed to do in his free throws. So he started knocking enough of those down. He even got some threes. He did not call glass on that one, but neither did James Harden in one of those shots that I thought won the Nets the game. But he was relentless, kept attacking, was clearly exhausted. He had the night of a champion. Like I said, no hate for Giannis. It's just like how when my hate for Utah is not for Donovan Mitchell and Jordan Clarkson, my hate for the Bucks right now is not for Giannis. Do I think he is severely limited in some ways and there's no way he should be winning a championship this year? Yeah. Well, before this series anyways, yeah. Now it's at the point where you gotta go finish this, dog. you gotta go finish this. I had a tweet in my drafts when it looked like the Nets were about to win, and I was going to be talking about how in another universe, Giannis did not sign the extension, and this game was the last straw for him. So he did sign the extension, he got past this hurdle, but here's the thing. Alright, on one side, we don't know what's up with Chris Paul's situation, and they actually play tomorrow, so in whatever video I released, I guess it'll be yesterday by the time this video came out, I was talking like the Suns and Clippers was some distant series. That shit happens tomorrow. So there's no Chris Paul in that game, and no Kawhi for the first 2 games, and we don't know when either of them are coming back. So that will automatically, it's built in that's going to affect whoever makes it to the finals. And we don't know if Kawhi is coming back, period. So should the Clippers be there could be some handicap. Wonder what the effects of COVID with a vaccinated Chris Paul are going to be. We can't tell any of that right now, right? But there's still question marks, all right? You got the Sixers that are going to a game 7 with Atlanta, however the hell that happened. Not disregarding Atlanta and the strides they've taken, but Philly should not be in a game 7 with the Hawks, especially with the process of how it happened and blowing 2 20-point leads. I can respect the Hawks as much as any team and still say there's no way it should be in this situation. Whatever. Philly, giant question mark with them. And if the Hawks were to make it, bro, you're not about to convince me the Hawks are going to eliminate the Bucks. So if you're Giannis, you got to be saying, and if you're the Bucks too, and Coach Budenholzer, you got to be saying this is our year. This is the best shot you are probably going to get unless there's some unforeseen injuries to key competitors that you can't foresee. As far as you know today, this is the best shot you're going to get because this Nets team, who you just barely beat, and it was ragtag, they had different guys in and out all series. This Nets team is going to spin the block next year. They are going to play presumably a lot of games together. They're going to be healthier, and they are probably going to be reinforced. I'm assuming, like I said, with super teams, I'd been saying this since they got together. Normally what happens is that summer guys come and join them. They fill some of the gaps that they had in the previous season. So we'll see what they look like going into the 2022 year. And once that happens, they spin the block. Now you're dealing with all three of them and a nice supporting cast, or a better supporting cast. It's going to be difficult, so just don't focus on the future right now. Focus on getting this done. The way I see it, the only team that just realistically should not win a championship this year is the Atlanta Hawks. Everybody else on this bracket should be saying, I can do this. I am more than capable of doing this. And if you're Giannis, again, you chose to sign your life away to this team, and this is the roster you got, so want to get it done. I hope he does. I really hope he does. I'd like to see Giannis with the championship. Even if the methods with this specific team are very questionable this year, I'd like to see it done. Well, congrats to Milwaukee fans, man. Congrats. I think I'm also salty because I wanted to see some more Kevin Durant masterclasses. Kyrie is also one of my favorite players to watch. However, I was not expecting to see him back 100% the rest of these playoffs either way. If they made it to the conference finals, I was quite certain he wasn't going to play in any of that. And now, if Philly can get the job done, you'll have two teams in the conference finals who really stumbled there. The Sixers just stumbled all over the Hawks, and the Bucks stumbling over this injured Nets team. That's a fascinating conference finals if I've ever seen one, but what's in the past is in the past, right? Let's just try to enjoy some good basketball. And again, hey, parity. Even if, once again, the methods are questionable, this is parity if I've seen it. I cannot call a clear champion from the pool that we have now, especially when we don't know who's playing for the specific teams. Alright, well, if it's all the same to y'all, I'm gonna go mope over the fact that my brother is not watching any more playoff basketball with me due to Coach Budenholzer failing his squad's way forward. I'll probably stream tomorrow before the Suns and Clippers game, so link in the comment section and description to my Twitch if you're interested in that. More than likely gonna be the Ratchet and Clank playthrough. I'm really trying to get done with that. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, comment, and sub, and hit the bell next to my name if you want notifications every time a new video drops. Let me know who you think is going to the finals, by the way. That can be your comment. Or you can lash out at me for being salty. It's all the same. Appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.